Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to humbly present you Mark 5. Real quick, if you want the free version that I made for both PC and mobile, you can find that now in the Discord. But anyways, let's get straight to it. I'm going to just bang them out one at a time, really quick, just because we have so much I want to cover. So, straight up, we have a new settings panel, and then assistant name. Now for this name, I'm just going to pick a very generic name, just because. So we're going to go with Max. You can literally have whatever name you want. It automatically updates. Okay, so while I test this out real quick, I'm going to have the terminal open so that you can see how it's actually coding itself. Because I didn't actually program it to do what I'm about to say right here. So, Max.
Yes, sir.
Create a folder called Pixel.
Your new folder Pixel is now live on your desktop.
So as you see here, he created the Pixel folder and he even opened it. Essentially, whenever he programs himself for a certain function, because you know how certain functions, let's say for example the volume, right? Maybe you want the volume at 100%, maybe you want it at 60%. Same with the folder creation, maybe you want to create this folder or that folder, open this folder, open that folder. The point is, all of that code is being cached in, it's being saved so that instead of having to redo it, he can just pull that code up and then do it for what you're trying to do. Okay, so now we are going to get into one of my favorite features. Max?
Yes, sir.
Add strawberries to my cart on Walmart.
Sir, I've started adding strawberries to your cart on Walmart. I'll let you know when it's done. Need anything else? The strawberries have been added to your cart on Walmart, sir. What's next? Want to check out or add something else?
Okay, so the web agent, you can now get it so that it does whatever you want on the web. And the beautiful part about this is that it is faster than any web agent tool that is out there that I've seen, okay, that I have seen. And also the good thing about this is that you don't go through any of the CAPTCHA errors, because some of the tools that I've tried before this, you would run into a bunch of CAPTCHA stuff. You know how like you have to click a bunch of stuff in order to verify you're human? This doesn't use that. And you can see there's also a widget here that tells you as it's doing the steps. I just had it covered, I didn't do it, but it tells you from the moment it starts all the way till I cannot speak. All the way till the time that it is complete. Max.
Yes, sir.
Instead of using the per month price, find me the full price, and why don't you do it on Apple's website this time?
I've started the browser automation task to find the full price of the iPhone 17 models on Apple's website.
Okay,
I'll calculate the full price from the monthly payments listed on the website. This might take a minute, sir. I'll let you know as soon as the task is complete. Feel free to ask me anything else in the meantime.
Stand by. Okay, we got this thing going. It's looking for the phones. Here it is. And the thing I like to do is that when it tries to do something or whatever, you could really work with this however you need to. Give it different resources. Like right now I just said use Apple instead of Best Buy. Your brain combined with its capabilities is what's going to help you get things done a little bit faster, especially when multitasking. So here it is. You should be able to see it by now. And imagine while you're working, this stuff is going on the side of your screen. And then whenever you're done, I'm going to show you real quick. You can literally work in this browser and do what you need to. It's not on your account. It's a separate one. But I think that actually makes it better for, so it doesn't do anything accidentally. But you can still sign in on your own and buy and put your stuff in there.
The browser automation task is complete, and I've got the full price of the iPhone 17. According to Apple's website, the full price is $799, which matches the calculation from the monthly payments. $33.29 per month for 24 months comes out to $799.20, sir. By the way, there's also a trade-in offer that can get you up to $186.50 in credit if you trade in an iPhone 13 or higher.
Good to know. And so like I said, once you're done, you could literally go in here, buy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can literally do your stuff here, you know what I'm saying? Buy, do whatever, and nothing will be saved either. So it'll still come to your house, obviously, but you know, a little something there, a little something. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I got way too excited there. I've spent way too much time talking about the first two features. So for the rest of them, we're gonna bang them out just like that. The next thing, web search functionality, Max.
Yes, sir.
How tall is Tom Holland? So right now in the background, it's doing its research. We're using the web search functionality, so we'll see how that goes.
Tom Holland's height is listed as 5'61.69 m on his official sites.
Really?
However, some sources claim he's around 5'8".
I didn't know that.
Regardless, he's proven that superheroes don't need to be giants, sir.
So it got over here this web results. You can kind of read over them, and it also gets you an image. Sometimes it gives you a little bit more than just an image, but it gives you the images as you need to. And if you want more images, you could literally say, Max,
Yes, sir.
get me another image of Tom Holland.
I've got another image of Tom Holland for you, sir. It should be displayed now.
Stand by. So as you can see, it got me another image here. And also, you saw how the widgets went in the background. We'll talk about more of the UI stuff a little bit later. But yeah, you can see all the stuff that you need here. And it gives you the images. And before, notice how it said a lot of the sources are saying 5'6.5", but some of them say 5'8". The actual height, I'm pretty sure I remember in one of the interviews, he said he was 5'7". So 5'6.5", that's pretty accurate. Because if you looked up on, wait a second, if I go here real quick on how tall is Tom Holland? See, some of the stuff right here is telling you 5'8", but I remember in one of the interviews, he literally said himself that he was 5'7". And we can actually, like, let me see if I can find, see right here it said 5'6.5". So when you go more deeper into the sources, they give you the actual stuff. So sometimes even Google can be inaccurate. I'm not saying the AI is a little bit more accurate than Google. I'm just saying that it goes through some of the different websites to get the information. And you can also get more images as I showed you here. For example, Max,
Yes, sir.
give me another image but with him in his costume.
I've got an image of Tom Holland suited up as Spider-Man for you, sir. It should be displayed now.
Okay, so right here we have a riddle on the screen. I've actually used this before, but I like it a lot, so let's use it again. Why not? I mean, the point is, you guys already know the screen analysis works. What I want to show you guys is something a little bit more interesting. Max,
Yes, sir.
look at my screen.
It looks like you've got a puzzle on your screen, sir. The car is parked between spots 88 and 98, but the actual number of the car's parking spot isn't visible. Want me to take a closer look or help you figure it out?
It's a riddle. Look again and solve it.
Nice one, sir. The answer is 87. You have to think outside the box, or in this case, turn it upside down. Clever puzzle, isn't it?
That it is. So as you see, first of all, the difference is that the model for the screen analysis is a lot better. I've upgraded it, so it's able to understand a lot better. And then the main difference is also whenever it's actually looking at your screen, you can see the little UI around your screen. And it doesn't matter what app you're on, it's going to come either way. I don't know, it just feels very immersive to me. I don't know. It's just very cool. And I've also improved the model, so it's a lot better. And essentially, you can combine the screen analysis with whatever it is that you have to do. Okay, so I know this video has probably taken way longer than it should be by now, but no, actually now though, I'm gonna actually rapid fire through these because we actually don't have time. Okay, yeah. So the next one is going to be the YouTube summarization. Now instead of having to do a link and whatever it is, you could literally just get your video, drag it onto the UI, bam, comes over there, and right now it's generating the summary. If you want it to stop, you can just hit X. Otherwise, here it is. Literally that simple, bro. All right, next we're gonna go over the time-based features. So we have alarms and reminders. Alarms is basically the exact same thing as reminders, but it's just the time instead of the actual reminder. So we're just gonna test out reminder, and believe me, the alarms work. And then we have timer and the time display. So first, let's just display the time so we get an idea of what it is. Max.
Yes, sir.
What time is it?
It's almost noon, sir. The time is 11:58
Standby.
a.m.
Okay, so we have the time displayed. Max.
Yes, sir.
Set a timer for 1 minute. Okay, just about 30 seconds left. While this is going, we're going to set the reminder. Max,
Yes, sir.
remind me at 12:02 to take out the garbage. There's our timer. And then you just right click to turn it off.
You've got a reminder set for 12:02 p.m. to take out the garbage, sir. Don't forget.
I'm going to leave this time up so that you can see when it hits 12:02, the reminder coming up. But while that's doing its thing, let's test out something else. The lights, for example. So yeah, you can now fully control your lights. The only catch is that you have to have Casa lights. See, at first I thought most people might not have that, but turns out that is one of the most popular smart lights, so the chances are it's what you have. But anyways, you can literally just come to your settings where it says lights, and then you can discover devices, and it'll automatically find the light that you have available. You just have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay, and so we'll take a look at the other stuff in the settings as well soon enough. So let's just say, so you see the RGB strips right here, the red ones. Max.
Yes, sir.
Turn off my strips.
Take out the garbage.
Okay, so as you can see, it gave us our little reminder here. And then, yeah. So, oh yeah, forgot. Max,
Yes, sir.
turn the strips back on.
Your strips are back on, sir. Brightening up the place again.
One of the other features that I added is gesture control. So let me paint you the scenario. Let's say you are eating your food right here on your desk. Your hands are greasy. What you can do is you can ask it to activate gesture control mode. You can ask it however you want, but gesture control. And so what that allows you to do is you take your webcam camera, and then you can literally control your mouse with your hands, and this is what you would do to click it. I thought to myself, if I'm eating food and my hands are greasy, just activate gesture control, bam, 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 pause the video, wash your hands, unpause it. And you can also, oh yeah, one more thing. When you do your thing like this, whenever you do this, the gesture control deactivates automatically. Max,
Yes, sir.
create a notes called to do.
Your to-do note is ready, sir. You can start jotting down your tasks now.
Stand by. By the way, one of the beautiful things about this is that the whole thing is connected. Instead of just opening the notes tool, for example, it used its mind to say, oh, okay, this is for a to-do list. You can jot down your tasks now. So it understands fully how the whole thing works together, which is actually very useful, and it adds on to its character. So essentially, you can just type in your notes here, whatever you want. Stuff like that. Do whatever you want here. And as far as saving it, right now, this is just a temporary note. But what I have created again is a workspace. First, I'm going to get a couple other widgets on here to show you guys what the workspace looks like. So let's just say this is a basic to-do list. Hi there. Okay. So I'm going to add a couple widgets here just so you guys, matter of fact, some of the widgets that we have here, I'm going to put them all on here first, create the workspace, and then kind of show you how that works. So the next feature I added, Max.
Yes, sir.
Create an image of Thanos. So it's creating the, okay.
I've got an image of Thanos ready for you, sir. The Mad Titan is looking as ominous as ever.
Max. Max.
Yes, sir.
Get me the weather.
Which city would you like to know the weather for, sir?
Let's go New York.
It's snowy in New York right now, sir. The temperature is around 31 degrees, but it feels like 18 due to the wind. Pretty chilly, if you ask me. Would you like to know more about the forecast or plan something around this weather?
Okay, Max.
Yes, sir.
Get me the calculator.
Your calculator is ready to use, sir. You can start calculating away. Need help with anything in particular or just want to crunch some numbers?
Okay, so for this calculator, we have a scientific calculator. Just because the regular ones, I mean, those work, to be honest. I just prefer to have a little pizzazz, if you will. Okay, so one thing I also added is that whenever it gives you really long answers, it puts it into a widget. So let's say, for instance, Max.
Yes, sir.
Create me an entire workout plan.
A general fitness plan is outlined, including cardio, strength training, and flexibility exercises, with a schedule of workouts for each day of the week. This plan can be adjusted based on individual needs and goals, and it's recommended to consult with a fitness professional for a personalized plan and to ensure a balanced diet to support the workout routine.
Stand by. Yo, this is actually a really solid split. But anyways, like I said, whenever it gives you crazy long stuff, it just puts it into a widget. And of course, we can just bring all these back. I'm not going to bring them all back though, because there's a lot of widgets here. And of course, whenever you hit the widget, it can overlap over it. It's kind of cool. It's just those little things. And we'll get into the UI in a second here. So yeah, those are the widgets I'm going to show you. Before we get onto the workspace, we covered this, we covered that. Oh yeah, one other thing. In the settings, I have a thing called black screen, which essentially is, because for me I have two monitors, so most of the time this AI is going to be on the second monitor. And so let's say I'm watching a movie or something on the main monitor. I don't want to see anything on the second. I want it to be completely blank. Now what I used to do is I used to use this black screen website here. But then, like, what's the point of having this when I could just implement it inside? So now you could literally just go here, hit this, and it'll be black screen. And then you can tap it again, and everything will come back. I know some of you will understand whenever you need that black screen for whatever reason. Okay, so for the workspace, we could just say, for example, Max.
Yes, sir.
Create this workspace as Thanos.
It seems I must clarify the name, sir. Since you didn't provide a specific name, I'll have to ask again. What would you like to name this workspace, sir? The Infinity Workspace? The Balance of Power? Please provide a name, and I'll make sure to save it accordingly. And, as a side note, name to be specified doesn't quite have the same ring to it as a name chosen by the Mad Titan himself.
Let's go with Infinity Workspace.
The Infinity Workspace has been saved, preserving the current widgets and their positions. It can be reloaded at any moment, and Thanos will restore it to its former state when summoned.
Stand by. Okay, so I don't think it heard me at first when I said to make it name Thanos, but you know, sometimes stuff like that happens. It's pretty normal. You just go ahead and correct it, and you kind of work through it together. And so now, if you want to, so let's say we close all of these widgets, they're all gone, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now I've closed up all these widgets, so now we can just say, Max,
Yes, sir.
open up the Infinity Workspace.
The Infinity Workspace is now open, sir. All the widgets have been restored to their saved positions, just as the balance of the universe has been restored by my efforts. You should now see the calculator widget ready for you to crunch the numbers of the universe, or perhaps plan the next step in your own quest for balance and harmony. Everything is as it should be, sir. The Infinity Workspace is once again at your fingertips, awaiting your command. What would you like to do next, sir?
Okay, so as you notice, there is one widget missing, and that is the weather widget. And that is because for the weather widget, I mean, it's not really like a workspace kind of item. And so I just thought to myself, why not just not have it included in the workspace? So whenever the weather widget is pretty much the only widget that is not included in the workspace. But you can literally just ask for it again and you'll get it. Very, very simple. And so yeah, those are some of the features there. I'm not gonna lie, there's a little bit more to it than that. I'm just kind of rushing over these. And I'm obviously gonna make more videos going over these. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I really have to speed this up because this has become way too long of a video. We're gonna go quickly through the UI and the brain, speed run this thing. So for the UI, as you saw throughout the whole thing, the core is right here, animations, very nice and cool. And then whenever it's executing something or processing, it kind of spins around. And then whenever something is loaded onto the workspace, it shrinks down. So I'm going to show you this real quick. Max.
Yes, sir.
Bring over the time real quick.
The current time is 12:36 p.m., sir.
Stand by. So as you saw the little text listening and stuff in the middle, the thing shrunk. And then also look at the core when I'm talking. Max.
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Whenever it's talking, you can kind of see the visualization on the core. And then also another thing I worked on, I improved the widgets by so much, like so much than the last time. And then we have the unfocused mode, which essentially means whenever there is a lot of widgets, then the widgets in the background kind of go behind. So if we do a quick web search, for example, Max.
Yes, sir.
Look up Iron Man.
Iron Man is a superhero persona of Tony Stark, a billionaire inventor who built an armored suit to combat crime and terrorism. He was held captive in an Afghan cave and used his genius to create the suit and escape. The character has been featured in several films, including the 2008 movie Iron Man, where he is played by Robert Downey Jr., sir.
So right here, I did a quick search for Iron Man, just so I can show you kind of how this unfocused mode works. So the search results came in. And then, by the way, you can also drag these widgets over each other. Pretty sure I already gone through that. But essentially, the widgets in the background, if there's a lot of them, they'll kind of just go towards the back. Here's what it looks like full screened. And then you can just bring it back by clicking on it. And then on that topic, you can get rid of the widgets just by right-clicking like so. And then also we have the chat interface. You can just say stuff on the chat.
What's up, sir?
And then over here we have the settings interface. Right here we got a lot of stuff to go over. So really quick, going through this quickly. You have the assistant name. You can put whatever name you want and it'll automatically change. And then black screen, obviously, as I saw. Now do not disturb. I'm going to get into this a little bit more. API keys, we got a couple of keys you put in there. I'm going to get into this a little bit more soon as well. And then right here is the lights where we went over just earlier. Alarms is where you can find it here, but when the alarms go off, they're automatically removed from here. That's why you don't see any here. And then workspace, this is the workspace we made earlier, the infinity workspace with those widgets. You can also manually create, by the way, all of these things in the settings, you can manually do them instead of having to ask for them. And then you can also delete them and whatever you need to. And then other than that, you can see I've improved the UI so much. And now let's get on to the brain. I gotta go quick with this. So when it comes to the brain, we have, first things we're gonna go over is the do not disturb. So do not disturb is essentially one of the features of the brain is he is able to talk to you without you doing anything or saying anything. So randomly he'll just go ahead and talk to you. It'll either be based off of past things you've talked about, or maybe whatever you're doing on your computer. He can literally look and talk to you about that. So it's literally being proactive, talking to you and doing this stuff without you even having to ask. And this is literally random, so you'll never know when it will happen. This is why I cannot test out this feature now, but if you get it yourself, you'll see how it works on your own. It automatically does it. Okay, and then the do not disturb that I've added here is just so that, let's say I'm making a Google Meet, for example, and I'm in I don't know, whatever you got to do on your computer and you don't want to be disturbed by your AI, you can just do this do not disturb, and then you remove it, it goes right back. Okay, but I can't test this right now because I don't know when he's gonna say anything. It's completely randomized. And then the other thing we have is long-term memory. Boy, does this come in handy. So it looks like we already have a memory in here. By the way, this is a fresh one that I've created. That's why there's only one memory in here. But essentially, you got some tags and stuff, importance level, just a little bit of detail here. This detail, you don't really need to worry about it. It's more so for the AI to use. But you kind of got that stuff here. And then when the memories really load up, instead of scrolling for them, you can literally just search for them, and it'll come up. And then right here it says user is interested in fitness. I don't know if you remember, but this is from earlier when we asked for a fitness routine. So it remembered that. But in order to test out the memory. Okay, so if we were to go ahead and test out the memory, let's go for, I'm thinking of a good example here. Max.
Yes, sir.
I love watching Stranger Things at night.
Stranger Things. Hey, sir? Demoggans and Egos. What's not to love? What's your favorite character? 11 or Mike?
By the way, I'm going to make a quick note here. Every time I'm saying stand by, you can also say stop listening. And I'm pretty sure that's the only other word I have. But you can say stand by, that's what I like to say. Or just don't say anything, and in 30 seconds, he'll stop talking automatically. Or he'll stop listening automatically. Okay, so you saw in that response, on the settings right here, it kind of glowed. That means that a new memory has been saved. This is how you know if a memory has been saved or not. And so we can go ahead and check here in the settings as well. Long-term memory. User enjoys watching Stranger Things. Boom. And then this is long-term. So let's say even if I close this out. So now I have the application closed. So now if I was to open it back up and say, Max.
Yes, sir.
I was thinking of watching some Netflix.
You should totally binge some Stranger Things, sir. What season are you on?
So yeah, the memory, there's so many things you can do with it, and it's going to come in handy for so many things, for whatever it is that you're working on and whatever. The memory, to be honest, is one of the deepest things that I worked on, and there's so much more to it, but there's not really much examples I can give you right now, not off the top of my head anyways. But essentially, when you're working with it and stuff, he remembers what you need, and then essentially, because the thing is, I thought about it, and one of the most important things is memory. Because literally, let's say you're talking to somebody else, right? Everything they know about you is stored in their brain. So for your AI to personally be with you and to genuinely like help you out to the best of its ability and to really understand you, that's what we have the memory for. So that's why I've implemented the memory like this. And then the memory indicator, just so you can see whenever it saved the memory, or maybe when it didn't save the memory, and then you can tell it to remember that. And then with these memories, it automatically deletes or changes based off the things that you tell it. So let's say you like Stranger Things one day. So if we go into the memory, it says user enjoys watching Stranger Things, right? And so if we say Max.
Yes, sir.
I actually hate Stranger Things now.
Sir, what's going on? You used to be a huge fan of Stranger Things. What made you change your mind about the show?
Stand by. So if we check the memory again, it says user dislikes Stranger Things instead of likes. And by the way, I do not hate Stranger Things, bro. That is one of the best shows of all time in live action. Now, to top this all off, the thing that really makes this AI assistant what it is the personality. I have improved the personality by so much since last time. It's a lot funnier. It's got more humor. It knows when to take things seriously and when to not. It tries to really understand who you are, and also, whenever you say something that sounds like a bad idea, it tries to advise against it. Because I noticed, like, ChatGPT itself, it always agrees with everything you says. This does not. Whenever you're wrong, it tells you you're wrong, and even if you say it's right, it'll be like, nah, it's pretty wrong. Personality, very, very solid. Okay, it's one of those things where you just have to experience for yourself to understand it. And of course, you'll see this stuff more throughout. With all of these things, you'll see them more as I make videos and really demonstrate how this stuff works. Also, another thing is that this thing can make mistakes, and when that happens, you just gotta kind of work with it. And sometimes you gotta emphasize what it is that you're looking for if it doesn't understand. But for the most part, it works very smoothly. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and directly ask me. I'm always available in the Discord. Also, there might be a thing or two I might have forgot to mention as far as features-wise and what it's capable of. And that's just because everything is connected, so it goes beyond just the features. You can literally put those features together and create something completely different. But in any case, I am very, very excited for you to try this. And if not, at the very least, you can see me use it in the videos. And yes, that means I'm coming back. Content creation, we are back at it. I'm going to start making more videos, and I'm going to go into detail a little bit more about that in the Discord. And yeah, that wraps things up. If you want to get this for yourself, you know what to click.